Veronica, and welcome to Jersey City Pilates. Okay, so in today's class, you're going to need your small ball or a towel, and you can just roll it up into a little log, just like this. Not anything special. And if you don't have either, that's totally fine. You can leave it off to the side. And today's focus is going to be pelvic floor and pelvic stability. And just a little bit quickly of background on why we're doing this. Your pelvic floor is super important for a variety of medical reasons, like a lot of them, including when you're pregnant, after being pregnant, as you age to prevent prolapse, all sorts of fun things, and then improved sexual function is also one of them. But Pilates is a great place to work on pelvic floor because it's very easy to incorporate into all of your exercises because it helps you engage your deep abdominal muscles and is part of that whole system. So we're going to do a few exercises where we'll do just normal, where you're trying to not think about it and then think about it and just comparing the difference. And my abs are always particularly sore after focusing on pelvic floor because I realize I'm engaging so many more muscles. So with that, we'll get started on your back. And you're just gonna come to lay with your feet planted. And then you can take your ball or your towel, either one, and you're just gonna put it in between your knees. If you have the towel, put it long ways so that it's like in line with your torso. And if not, you're just gonna grab the ball and do the same. If you have a ponytail, just move it out of the way so your head is flat on the floor. And then just let your arms be heavy on the ground, and then let your back just find its most comfortable natural position here. And then let your legs gently grab onto the ball or towel, whichever it is that you're holding. And take a nice big inhale all the way down into your stomach. Feel your ribs expand. Your stomach pushes up towards the ceiling, and then exhale. Let everything be heavy down towards the ground. And then inhale one more time. And then exhale. So here, bring your hands onto your ribs, and you're going to take a big inhale. And your ribs expand out to the side, and then exhale. Draw your fingertips towards one another by bringing your ribs towards one another, and then inhale again, ribs out to the side. Breathing into your palms. And then exhale, draw everything together. And one more breath like this. And then bring your hand onto your stomach. You can bring both or one, doesn't matter. And then inhale. Feel your abdominals draw into your stomach. And then exhale. Feel them descend away from your hand. And then again, inhaling. Ribs stay quiet here. Exhale, your stomach descends. One more breath. And then exhale. And your stomach descends. So here, bring a hand to your ribs and a hand to your stomach. You're going to inhale wherever feels right. For me, it's the lateral breathing through my ribs. And then exhale, feel your abdominals draw in and your ribs draw away from one another. And then next time, same thing. Breathe in. Exhale. And then hold that engagement here through the ribs. And then inhale into your stomach. And then exhale. The ribs are quiet. Just your abdominals are moving now. And then just check in with your thighs. See if they're working hard. Feel whether or not they've engaged to hold on to that ball. Mine are actually shaking slightly, which is fine if they're. One more breath here. And then exhale. Bring your arms back by your sides and externally rotate your upper arm just a little bit so the creases of your elbows can face up towards the ceiling. Your collarbone is nice and wide. And now just inhale and then squeeze the ball with your inner thighs or the towel rather than with your knees, and then exhale, release. And then inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release. One more time, inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Now hold the squeeze here. Just start to breathe normally. And as you do, think about pulling your pelvic floor in and up and then engaging your abdominals and your ribs. So you're starting at the base of your pelvis and working all the way up to your rib cage. with that engagement, and then release the ball, release your engagement. And then squeeze the ball in, feel your pelvic floor lift, and engage abdominals, ribs, back ribs press into the ground, and then release. We're gonna do that one more time. And in order to engage your pelvic floor, think about like you're stopping the flow of your abdominals through the thighs, ribs, and then you're gonna curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Your ribs slide towards your hips. Your tailbone is and then squeeze the ball, holding your upper body where it is, and then release. And this time, as you squeeze, think about squeezing your pelvic floor and your thighs at the same time. That lower ass and then release. You can also bring a hand onto your stomach, and you should feel as you squeeze in, your stomach actually extends slightly away from your hands rather than crossing out. 2 more circles. Hips your shoulders are lifted. Last one, and then hold that in, and then you're just gonna pulse for 6, 5, 4 little squeezes through the inner thighs, the abdominals, and the pelvic floor. 3, 2. Last one, and then lower all the way down, and then go ahead and take the towel or ball out from underneath you for a second. And then from here, actually, I changed my mind. Put the ball or towel back in between your knees, my right leg. And then your hips are heavy, and then just relax onto the floor. You're gonna squeeze the ball as hard as you can, but don't necessarily think about engaging your pelvic floor or anything in particular, and then release. And then again, just squeeze your abdominals, squeeze your legs, and then release. So now you're gonna do 2 more, feeling the difference. So you're gonna draw your pelvic floor in, draw the ribs in, draw the abdominals in, squeeze with the inner thigh. And you should have like a softness if you poke your stomach. Shouldn't be super hard, and then release. And then again, squeeze in, pelvic floor lifts, abdominals are nice and soft, and then release. And so you can take the ball out now. The difference with pelvic floor versus no pelvic floor is just that you're not bearing down on it, you're lifting it in and up, so it's helping to support you while you're moving, rather than fighting against you. So bring your hands back behind your head, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, feel your pelvic floor lift, abs lift, and then you're just gonna rotate your ribs up and over towards the right, and then back to the center, and then twist up and over towards the left, and then to the center, head presses back into your hands press into your head, and then you rotate. So this is a super tiny movement. You're just rotating through the rib cage, 2 more on each side. Breathing as you go, inner thigh moves. Of course, your inner thighs are also working, your knees should be falling off to the side. Last one, to the center, and then just lift up a tiny bit, release halfway down, and then curl up. And then release. And feel your pelvic floor lift, and then really think about sliding your ribs down towards your hips. If you can tell in my voice, I am shaking. Exhale, and back down. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, last one. And then lower all the way back down. Go ahead and bring your fingertips up towards the ceiling, and then turn your palms away from you. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling, press your back ribs into the floor, and then just let your shoulders find a nice neutral spot on the floor. And then let your fingertips fall back, moving from the side of your body rather than just your hands, and then draw your arms back up. And then let them fall back. Sorry if there's noise in the background. Leo has decided to go to work. And then reaching back overhead, and then press back up. You're going to stay pressing down in the back, and then they're drawing towards your hips the whole time here. One more time. And then bring them back up to that spot right on top of your shoulders. Press down through the hands, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. And then lift your arms in line with your knees, and then press down, curl up a tiny bit more. You can press your low back into the floor here if you need. If not, you're in neutral, but whichever you pick, just stick with me. And then lift up. Press down like you're moving your arms through molasses. Chin is lifted off your chest, gaze is straight forward. For 3, 2, last one, and then lower all the way back down. From here, you're gonna bring your right knee into your chest, extend your left leg long, And then just grab onto the outside of it and rotate up and over to your knee is going to the left, your gaze is going to the right. Both shoulders are going to stay on. And then come back to center and switch sides. So left knee comes into your chest. We're going to hug for a second, pressing down through that right leg, and then open it out to the side, rotate up. Just notice if one side is turned here, and open it down on the floor. And then come back and extend your arms long, extend your legs long. Rest through the hands, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. And then from here, you're gonna reach forward, draw your legs towards your hips, round up and over your legs. You can bend them if you need, and then stack your spine nice and tall. We're gonna roll back down, so curl your tailbone under, feel your pelvic floor engage, like you're scooping in and up, lengthening through the front of your hips, rolling all the way down, one vertebrae, underneath. I'm like, I'm on a cobblestone street. And then rest through the arms, pause here, reach long, curl yourselves up, drawing your wrists from your hips, then round forward. We're just gonna do 2 more. Stack your spine up nice and tall. Feel your ribs draw back, your abdominals draw back, but the top of your head almost stays at the same height as long as you possibly can while opening up to the front of the hips. And then move it all the way down. One more time. Reach the arms overhead if this feels good. Take a stretch. Back ribs press into the mat. Lower front ribs draw towards the hips. Reach through the arms. Roll forward like you're going with each ball. And then stack your spine nice and tall. Bend your knees here if you need. And then think about sliding your arms forward on like a table in front of you or something. And then nod the chin and then round forward. Keep reaching through the arms. You're here, you're your bicep. Rounding through the back. And stack your spine up to the right side. Straighten your legs if it feels good. Reach up and over, not dropping the arms. Keeping space between your ears and your shoulders. And then peel yourself back up. One more time. Curl forward. And then pick yourself all the way back up. And then you're going to curl down one vertebrae at a time. And then reach your arms up towards the ceiling and grab your towel or ball. And then you're going to grab onto it behind your right leg. And your left leg is going to stay long. If this is uncomfortable, you can bend it just a little, but don't bend it all the way because it'll be in the way of the towel. And then from here, you're going to actually leave your arms down on the side, on the floor. Externally rotate the tops of the arms, keeping the chest open. Draw your pelvic floor in, feel your low back press into the mat. And then you're going to lower your knee away from you, squeezing the towel, moving your calf and your hamstring, and then pulling back in. And then you're going to let it release away from you just a few inches. Then feel everything drop in and up as you bring your knee in. You can bring your hands behind your head if you'd like, and lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. Your chest. Again, feel free to gently bend that left leg too. Your hips are nice and square. You're not rocking back from one side to the other. You're just moving nice and smooth. So this shouldn't feel super intense on your hip flexor. 2 more. And last one. And then bring that knee in. Grab the towel, and then you're just going to try this fast. A little bit of hooded grip. Grab onto it, feel the engagement between in the back of the leg, the calf, the hamstring on that left side, laying down, bending the knee. Need it, low back presses towards the floor, hips are square, and then just lower that left knee away and back up. And think about moving from your thigh, your hamstring, where your leg meets your glute. The range of motion can be super tiny. Think about reaching your sitting bones away as you come back up. If you feel your hip flexor starting to kick in, you can put your thumb in the crease of your hips. This is a reminder to reach that away. Forward. Head can lift at any time if you'd like. 2. Last one. And then grab onto that towel, and then you're going to lift your other leg up, and you're going to bring the towel behind both legs. And if you're using a ball, you're just going to have the ball in between your knees. And you're going to feel your pelvic floor. Actually, bring it right. You're going to put the towel in between your knees at the top, long waist how we had it when we started. Your head, neck, and shoulders are lifted. And then you're just gonna reach your legs away, maybe just past 90, and then drop it. And then lower away, just a few inches, and then draw your abdominals in and up. And again, you can do this with your head down, shoulders down. This becomes challenging because obviously the towel is weighty. You're either in neutral or your low back is resting before. Your choice, whichever is better for your back. But really think about squeezing the towel or the ball from your inner thighs and that your abdominal or pelvic floor is lifting, your abdominals are engaged, and you're breathing before you do 3 more. 2. And last one. And then leave your legs about right at 90. And then you're gonna lift your lower legs up so that you have the towel there. And then you're just gonna extend them away and then bring them in. Now keeping your shins parallel to the floor. So you're sort of straightening your legs just a tiny bit and then bringing them back in and straighten a little and bring them back in. And if you can, you're gonna start to straighten them all the way. And extend, squeeze the towel with that pelvic floor, inner thighs for 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then bring it all the way in, bring your knees into your chest, move the towel out to the side. Rock back and forth from one side to the other. And then you're gonna roll yourself up and you're gonna come onto your right side. So have your heels in line with your butt, your knee slightly in front of you, and your elbow right underneath your shoulder. And you're gonna let yourself sink down towards the floor, and then feel your abdominals engage, your ribs pull in, and then reach your top hip away so that your hips are nice and square, stacked on top of one another. And then you're just gonna open your top leg out to the side, like a little shell, and then resist it back down. And as you lift up, feel your pelvic floor pull in, and then as you release, same thing, your pelvic floor stays lifted the whole time to support your whole pelvis in this position. And then just notice whether, you do a few thinking about your pelvic floor and engaging, squeezing there. If you notice whether or not that helps your abdominals kick on. 2 more. Obviously, as you can tell, we're doing a few more reps of everything. It's on purpose. I didn't just completely break it down. Last one. And then you're gonna lift your leg up so it's right in line with your hip. And then you're gonna extend it long so that you're open through the front of that left hip. You can fold your mat over or put your towel underneath if this is something. Again, make sure you're lifted, ears away from your shoulder, and you're gonna flex your foot, kick it forward. Think about reaching your sitting bone back, and then press back to point your leg here, opening through the front of the hip. So hinging at the hip to come forward, lengthening through the hip to come back, and then hinge. If you want, you can bring your hand onto your glute and think about your sitting bone dropping back into your hand as you come forward, and or your hand can come into your hand, or be on the floor. That works for you. 2 more. Thinking about being stable more than anything in this class. Pause here. You're going to bend your knee in and extend it back behind you. And bend it in and extend back behind you. Now here it's super important to think about that connection between your ribs and your hips. You don't want to be arching through your back as you press. You want to keep your back nice and straight. You're only lengthening through that hip and opening up. 3 more. 2. Last one. Leave it back there, lower it down, and lower, and lift for 6. Your butt is probably squeezing here, that's cool. 4 more, lift the chest, ribs to hips in the front, 3, 2. Last one, and then bend it in. From here, you're gonna bring your knees back now, so your knees are in line with your hips. And then you're gonna have your forearm down. Your knees are stacked, you can also bring your top leg long, and you're gonna lift yourself up into a side. So your choice whether you're stacked here or here. I'm gonna go with my top leg long, it gives me a little bit more support. And and then lower your hip down, lift it up. Think about having a little string tied around your hips, and someone is there just pulling you straight up. Your right arm is helping to support you. Your abs are drawing in, and your right leg is also helping to lift you up. For 4, 3, neck is long, 2, last one, stay lifted, reach your top arm up, reach it overhead, and then reach it down by your side, and then lift it up overhead, and bring it down, overhead. Squeeze your armpit as you lower your arm, 2, last one, leave your arm at the top, lift your top leg if it's comfortable, and then you're gonna bend it in and extend. Straight in front of you and extend for 2. Last one, leave your leg long, externally rotate, bring it up towards your elbow and extend. Arm can lift overhead, elbow to knee, extend, elbow to knee, pelvic floor lifts, abs draw in, ribs will slow toward your hips. 2. And last one, extend your arm, extend your leg, and a nice side stretch here, and then lower all the way down against your sides. So your glutes are working, but your arms also want to. So shoulder stacked right above your elbow, heels in line with your glutes. Hips are stacked. Actually, first, find that place where you're sinking down towards the floor, and then lengthen your hip away, feel yourself lift, and then just adjust yourself. Yeah. And you're gonna start with that clamshell, resisting open, and then resisting close. Bring your neck toward your hips. Everything is engaged but relaxed. And open up for 4, 3, 2, neck is long, last one. Actually, we'll do 2 more. Side, last one. And then lift the leg up in line with your hip. And then extend it long. Flex through the hip. Make sure you're not sinking. Lift the ribs. Draw the abdominals in. You bring your right hand onto your right glute. Sweep the leg forward, hinging at the hips. And then point and come all the way back. Opening through the front of your hip. Not going past that opening into extension with the leg, but just coming to that neutral spot as though you were standing on that right leg. Sweep it forward and back. Okay. And back. And feel that little squeeze where your hamstring meets your glute for 3, 2, and last one. Pause back, and then here, you're just gonna sweep it back behind you, and back to the center, and back behind you, and center. It's a pretty small move. You're really only going back a couple of inches. Lift it up through the chest for 3, 2, last one, leave it back there, and then lift for 4, 3, 2, 1, bend it in, and then press back. I screwed up. This leg's different. It's fine. And press back. 3 more. 2. I'm like 5 minutes ahead of myself. It's fine. Last one. Good. And then if you have anything in your way, move it out. We're going to come into that side plank. So either your knees are stacked or your top leg is long, which is what I'm going to start with. And then reach your top arm up. Or you can have it on your hip, your choice. Then you're just gonna lower your hips down and then press through the bottom leg, draw your abs in, and then lift straight up towards the ceiling. You're keeping your hips nice and square to the front. For 6, 5, shoulders are relaxed. 3, 2, last one, pause at the top. Lift, your top leg is gonna stay up. Reach your arm overhead. Press it down to a molasses spray for your hip. Up overhead. You can also play with your hand, internally and externally rotating it. So palm away as you press down, palm towards your head as you bring it up overhead. Last one. And here you're gonna lift your bottom leg and tap it down for 4, 3, neck is long, 2, last one. Extend your top arm, and you're just gonna bend your knee in. Extend for 4, 3, ribs toward your hips, 2, last one, and then you're gonna externally rotate the leg so your hips stay forward, Then you can add the elbow to the arm right away. So elbow to the knee for 2. Last one. And then reach everything long and then lower yourself all the way down. Shake your arms out, shake your elbows out. And then come onto all fours. Bring your hands wide as the mat, knees as wide as the mat. And then sit back and move down. And then from here, internally rotate your arms so you're almost like squeezing your head with your upper arm. And then externally rotate your arms. Feel your lats engage, which is right here underneath your armpits. And then feel your armpits themselves engage. And then you can feel that space in your back ribs. You have space within your ear with your biceps, your ears with your elbows. And then you're just going to keep that. And then you're going to come forward into your all fours position. So knees right underneath your hips and underneath your shoulders. And then again, just think about that external rotation of the upper arm. Hands still stay where they are, pointing forward. But you're engaged through the back, you have space to the front of your chest, and you're just going to come back towards your heels. And then feel your pelvic floor draw in and up. Come forward, back onto your all fours position. Draw your ribs in around your spine. And then uncurl your spine. Looking right about at the end of your mat. Your neck is so long, and curl your tailbone. And then back through into that extension. And a couple more times, just going at whatever pace feels good here. 2 more. And last one. And then find your neutral spine. And then from here, draw your pelvic floor in and then just round your lower back. So your upper back stays in neutral, and then you're gonna arch your low back. So you're round your low back. Reaching your sitting bones down towards your heels, and then reach them up wide. So you can think about narrowing your sitting bones through the back of your pelvis when you come under, and then widening them as you think up. 2 more. And last one, keep thinking about drawing your pelvic floor here. Find your neutral pelvis. This is a great way to find your abdominals in all fours and planks, which is where we're going. So you're gonna walk your hands just out in front of you slightly, and then shift your weight forward. Feel your pelvic floor and your abdominals draw in. Your arms are nice and straight or have a gentle bend in them, so you're not hyperextending. And then you're just going to extend from your chest, extend your neck, so everything is in one nice long line from the backs of your knees and your hips, more so up to your chest. And then sit back towards your child's pose. And then you're going to pull your heels of your hands back towards your feet, and then find that engagement with the front of your body, the back of your body, and then up to your supported body. And then come back and forward. 2 more. And last one. Pause here. Feel your pelvic floor engage. Feel how much your abdominals are working here. Make sure you're not like me and having hyperextended arms. Soften them slightly. And then bend your elbows back towards your hips. Head is long. Abs are drawn in. Ribs drawn towards one another. Lower down all the way or halfway. And then rest yourself back up on it. We're only going to do 2 more. Elbows come back toward your hips. Neck is long. You're moving slowly. You're supported through the whole front of your body. And then inhale down. And then exhale. Press up. And then come back in. Although those were only 3 push-ups, they were hard. It's everything. And then bring your hands right back underneath you. Extend your right leg back behind you. Lift your left arm up. You're supported here. You're going to draw your knee and elbow in. And then extend. And draw in. And extend. And as you extend, feel your hamstring engage. Your leg and arm are both lifting from your back rather than the foot and the hand. 3, 2, and last one, leave it long. Watch that right elbow, and then you're going to bring them out to the side, so you're reaching out on the diagonal like you're making that flash, and then squeeze the pelvic floor, draw everything into the center, and then open out to the side, draw everything into the center. You should start to feel your inner thigh working all the way down the inside of that leg, all the way up into your ribs on the front of your body. 2. Last one. Lower everything down. Sit back into a child's pose. And then coming back up. Left side extends, left leg, not left side. Right arm extends. Again, think about lifting from that right side on your back. Lift up, pause, and then draw everything in around your spine. Staying supported with the abdominals. In. And extend, engaging that whole back of your left leg and the whole front of your body in the core. For 5. 4. 3. Move at whatever pace works for you. 2. Last one, leave everything extended. Open out to the side on that diagonal and squeeze it into the center. Open out to the side. Side. 1. 3. Really focusing on your movement. 2. Last one. And then lower everything down. Sit back and shake your wrists out. We're going to come down onto your stomachs now. Do a little bit of extension, although not too much today. So come down onto your stomach and then pause with your shoulders underneath your upper body. And immediately just notice where the tension is in your back and where it is in, like where the weight is sitting. So for me right now, it's sitting right here, right in my lower back, which is exactly where I don't want it. So kind of my arms down on the ground. I'm going to pull myself forward, pull my chest forward, draw my abdominals in, and then almost think about like painting the whole front of my body onto the floor. And then I start to get out of my low back. My pelvis and pubic bone are pressing into the floor, and then I'm just going to bring my forehead onto my knees. And then from here, I'm immediately in a more supported position through my low back. My abdominals are working, they're drawing away from the floor. Almost like I'm going to peel them off the ground. And then I'm going to lift my head and my arms into that slight extension, reaching forward with my chest, neck is long, and then look back down. And look. And again, just noticing where the tension is in your back. If it's all the way in your low back, drop your hands and just think about lifting. And then keep thinking about that weight in your pubic bone, in your hips. The eyes are nice and quiet. And lower all the way down. Bring your hands back by your sides. Shake your hips from one side to the other. Your cheek can rest on the floor. And then again, find that spot. You can even take your hands onto your low back and think about just like smoothing the skin of your low back and your butt to press everything down onto the floor. And then reach your arms along back by your sides, palms face up, externally rotate with the upper arm, and then reach back with the fingertips and lift into your extension. And look back down. And reach back. Only going to do about 5 more of these. 4. 3, lift the arms as you lift the chest. Just think about everything drawing down towards your heels, the back side of your body, and the front is supported. And as long, last one. Stay lifted. Reach your arms out to the side like a reverse V, and then draw them back into the center. And then open them out to the side, keep them lifted, and bring them back in. And out, and back in. 4 more. Abs draw in. You can lower your upper body at any point if you need to. Last one. Turn your palms towards the floor, reach up just a little bit higher. Sweep your arms around all the way in line with your head, and then lower everything all the way down. Press yourself back into a child's pose. And then come onto your backs. From here, you're gonna bring both knees into your chest, just all the way into your chest. Hands come behind your head. Support your head with your hands and the other way around. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Your knees are all the way in front of your chest. Your right leg is going to stay where it is. Your left leg is going to extend. Low back is pressing into the mat here. Tips of your shoulder blades are going to lift off the floor. Everything engaged in the front of your body. And then you're just going to reach long through that leg, lower it down, hinge at the hips, go back. The right leg is going to stay totally still and invert that chest. Your left leg can be bent as you lift it. So this is just kind of building on what we were doing in the class. Single leg, just with a longer lever. Checking in on your abdominals. You can always bring a hand to them to make sure that they're not squeezing and you're not bearing down. Last one, lift up. Knees both bend into your chest. And then you're going to extend one leg out, one leg up. And then bring them back into your chest. And then one leg out, one leg up. Both come back in. Chest stays lifted, alternating your scissor, coming back into that tabletop position each time. And really focusing on opening up to the back of the leg. Working on your range of motion, whatever feels good in terms of the hamstring stretch and the abdominal. One more time each side. Last one. Bend both knees in, left leg stays in, right leg lifts up. Float that leg down, back presses into the floor, and lower, and lift. 3 more. Not 3 more, I'm sorry. I really can't count today. 2. Abs dry, pelvic floor lifts. Last one. Both knees come in. Extend both legs out. Bend and rotate to the left. Extend both legs, bend and rotate to the right. Extend and rotate. So don't think about lowering your legs low to the floor. Just think about extending them to a point that's comfortable for your back and your abdominals, 2 more to each side. And then rotating the opposite rib towards the opposite hip and bring those knees all the way in towards your chest. Last one. Bring your knees into your chest and gently rock back and forth from one side to the other. And then grab onto your ball or your towel, place it between your knees again, and then come with your arms down by your sides. We're going to do a little bit of bridging, only 2-leg bridging, no single leg bridging today. Press your feet into the floor, draw your tailbone up towards the ceiling, curl it under, tailbone curls under, pubic bone up towards the ceiling. Hips come towards your ribs, press your low back into the floor, and then just release. And then again, curl the low back, press it into the floor, using your pelvic floor, almost thinking about now, using that to squeeze the ball rather than your legs. Sounds ridiculous, but almost think that like you're drawing the ball up, down, or down your thighs up, and then your pelvic floor is going to switch it. I don't know of a better image, sorry. And then this time, pause with your low back press into the mat. Press your feet into the floor, externally rotate through the collarbone. Heel yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time, holding onto that ball as though it's part of your body. And then you're going to peel yourself all the way back down. And then curl your tailbone under, extend, open up through the front of the hips, reach the ball long, reach long through the front of the legs, heels draw towards your hips, and peel yourself all the way back down. One more time like that. Peel yourself up and move. Find whatever position is comfortable, whatever height makes sense for your body. You want that opening in the front of your hips, so try not to be all the way down here if you can. If you need to, then do it for straight. You're going to squeeze your pelvic floor, squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the abdominals, draw towel or ball in, and then release and squeeze. And squeeze. Pulse in. 2, 3. Almost think about like you're trying to stop your pee like every 3rd second. I don't really know why you would do that, but like if you needed to. That's what you should be doing, but that doesn't mean that you're squeezing your butt like you're trying to hold it apart. Like your butt outer muscles will be engaged, but you don't do that. Here for 4, 3, 2, last one. Hold that squeeze. Hold pulse down, hinge at the hips, and press up. Hinge and then tuck under. Keep squeezing the ball. You didn't think you were gonna have to hear about that. Sorry. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, pause at the top. Rotate your right hip down, left hip lifts to the center. Rotate to the other side. So the towel will move a little, the ball will move a little, but more or less the only thing moving is your pelvis. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one to the left. Pause here. Reach your arms up overhead, and then peel yourself all the way down, let your arms go overhead as you lower down, and then extend your legs long. And get a nice stretch here. Keep the towel between your knees. Press your hands, or reach your hands away from you. Press them down. You're going to squeeze the ball or towel as you roll all the way up and reach over your legs. Stack your spine up nice and tall. Take your towel with you, ball with you. We're going to do one last thing. Bring it in between your knees, but keep it lifted a little bit off the floor. And then you're going to bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Wrap everything around. Really feel engaged. Reach your toes under so that you're in a little bear plank. You're going to lift your heels. And then, I might have done this wrong. All right, bring your hands out farther in front of you. You're going to reach your weight forward. Curl your toes under. Find yourself in a plank. Hold that ball, again, or towel. Feel like your pelvic floor is holding it for you. You're going to reach your hips up towards the ceiling. Into a down dog, squeeze to the pelvic floor, draw the abdominals in, come back into your plank. Neck is reaching long. You can be on your forearms here too if you need, and then bend the knees, and then reach through the back of the knees to lift. Bend in, and lengthen. For 4, 3, really moving, feeling the intensity of the slow movement. 2 more. Abs right, pelvic floor lifts. Last one. Just let your legs go wide, drop your towel or your ball, press yourself back into a downward dog. And then instead of feeling the bearing down as you walk your hands toward your feet, feel the lift through your abdominals. Give yourself a little bit of lightness, for lack of a better word. And then from here, bring your feet to hip distance, grab on the opposite arm, opposite elbow, rock back and forth from one side to the other. And then let your hands be heavy. Draw your abdominals in, lift your pelvic floor, bend the knees, and then curl yourself up one vertebrae at a time. But pause when you start to get that stretch in the low back. Let your head be heavy and draw your abdominals in. Pelvic floor lifts a little bit more. See if you can increase that stretch to the low back. And then knees still stay soft. Curl yourself all the way up. Your head will find its way to the top of your body. And then lift your arms up overhead. Ribs stay connected to your hips. Externally rotate your arms. Press your hands down like you're a little corkscrew. Reach your head up towards the ceiling. Arms move through molasses, knees are soft. And then you are all finished. Thank you.